How are you, maccem, though? Just in general.
I'm good.
You
Just
good?
in general. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
And you've just come back from EMEA, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
What were you doing? I know you were on screen and everyone was shouting your name all the time, but
Yeah, so my official role was admin. So essentially tech support and also like run up between all the games and set up the next game and make sure the players get the right settings and install their hardware and software and everything they need.
and is that something that's come from? Because I know you worked at the place before. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just they just rang you. They're like, we know you're in Sweden. It's easy enough to get here.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not entirely sure what happened like behind the scenes, but one day before last year's World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
they just wrote to me from. So this is not GeoGuessr directly; it's another
Oh,
company called Clutch Group,
okay.
which is responsible for like the event organization.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote to me and asked if I wanted to help out with a few things.
I mean, sounds like I want to get involved in something. Clutch Group's the one to go to.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, you worked at GeoGuessr for you. Did that not? Was there nothing to do with technical in that as well, or was that just completely different? Was that just coincidental that they
I
messaged you?
mean, obviously I got to know a lot of people at
Mm-hmm.
the company and things. Again, this is completely separate people from the ones at Clutch Group.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's I mean it's probably related that like they know me from there, and like obviously I've been to all the regionals as well
Mm.
at while I was at Jägersö,
Because
and
they were being held in
got
the
to meet
studio at the time, weren't they?
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. It's not like fancying traveling to Tokyo. You
Yeah,
you worked before then,
fortunately not. Yeah,
and then didn't get the invite to Tokyo.
nope.
No, but no. In terms of GeoGuessr, I know you participated in the first World Cup, well, World
Yeah,
Championship these days.
true.
Um, well, the first official one, I should say as well.
Yeah.
The previous tournament. Uh, how did you get involved with that as well? Because I know it was a Team World Cup, wasn't it?
The one in Paris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
because it was a soil cord, wasn't it? Was it a soil
yeah.
cord
So it was
team?
me, Blinky, and Kodiak.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, call ourselves the Speed Plonkers back then. Um, yeah. I mean, it was essentially Kodiak and Blinky needed a team.
Mm-hmm.
They had already decided they wanted to go, and then they wrote to me and asked, "Hey, do you wanna join us in Paris?" And I was like, I have an exam 2 days after the the tournament,
Mm-hmm.
so I politely declined
Yeah.
several times actually. And then eventually Kodiak just like called me up on Discord and we had a very long conversation. And he managed to convince me that actually, we probably have a good chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, yeah, I decided to actually go. And that was I don't regret that decision
No.
one bit.
I mean, looking at the results, it was clearly the right decision.
Yeah, yeah.
How did the exam go?
It went pretty well actually. uh, I got home at like 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
the night before, and then I had to get up at like 6 a.m. for the exam.
Hey,
But it's still, yeah, it went okay.
and then sort of moving on to the first official one, I think that's probably where I met you and a lot of other people as well.
Yeah,
Because I know you joined Kodiak and Blinky and with that one, but obviously I think you were part of Soil Cord at that point, and I hadn't
yeah,
really heard of that. Well, I'd heard of it bits and pieces, and then I joined, and then said nothing for about 8 months, and then leading up to the first World Championship, I sort of got involved with that, and then meeting everyone for the first time in Stockholm. I was about to say Copenhagen, but that's this week. That's this year's.
Yeah,
But no, meeting everyone in Stockholm, I thought that was pretty cool. And then just to
yeah,
have people that were part of that call actually competing in the World Cup was very
yeah.
exciting to me. Um, what was your favourite part about taking part in that?
I mean, honestly, just meeting everyone, like you
Mm.
said. Like, of course met some people at the Paris World Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and also some people at ESA, the like speedrun
Oh
event
yeah.
where Harvard and bunch of soccer people go. Like that year, Anna and Emily and Axel were also there, along with all the normal
Mm-hmm.
ESA people, Harvard, Mamrik, Angelin, and all them.
Axel.
So I admit, yeah, no, I don't think
No.
Axel was first year. Axel with X, but
Yeah.
Axel KS was there.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, still a lot of new people that I had never met before at the first Stockholm World Cup, and it was just so nice to put a face to everyone, that you had talked to online in Discord and on Twitch.
Because I knew you mainly from maccem Jam emote, but like not really in terms of like facial wise. And then obviously meeting it, like you said, meeting everyone in person was a great time. And
That emote is from ESA.
that's from ESA. Okay, I was
Yeah.
wondering how they got that emote. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was MGLN filming me.
because every video I see of you, it's like camera's face on or just slightly to the side or something like that, and then
Mhm.
that one's like fully from like 90
Yeah,
degrees.
yeah. No, that's just yeah. I was in a hotel room jamming to music.
Do you remember the song?
I'm afraid I don't.
No,
It was some like I think it was like no, I don't remember.
but speaking of songs, you did create Mbabane House,
True.
the greatest GeoGuessr track, I think, until potentially this year. I think we've got some other remixes coming soon.
The the voting has opened, by the way.
Oh,
You can go and listen to it right now. It opened last night.
so yours is up for voting as well.
Correct.
Okay, okay. I have to have a listen to that. I think when this comes out, obviously, though, I've had the stream that I think Bloom's going through, listening to a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
I think that's tonight on the day we're recording this.
Oh, okay.
But ridiculously early in the morning. So, but what possessed you to make Mbabane House? Was it just the GeoPeter just aura that?
Yeah, I mean, I was in the street, like the original stream when it happened.
Oh, okay.
When he said Mbabana House a bunch of times very rhythmically, and everyone was like, "Yo, someone should remix this."
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter started doing these weekly song competitions, on Twitch, like
Mm-hmm.
you can vote between two songs and
Okay.
have a bracket.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it like
Like
the
the
one
song
that everyone
competition.
uses these days, or is it like a
Yeah, yeah,
different
yeah,
one? Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. The one that Bloom and
Mm-hmm.
people use. Um, and one day I just decided, and it was like a while after the original stream as well. I was like, maybe I should make a remix of this, and then submit it to one of the song competitions. And then I did, and I did win the song competition.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? I completely blanked there. But I'm pretty sure I found the song, or people were telling me about the song. I found the song, and I was like, "This is the same maccem that chats shit about whatever in so called every other day." That's quite impressive. But then it was like one of the only videos on your channel for a while.
Right. Yeah.
But now you're daily uploading.
Yeah.
How is that stressful for you at all, or is that are they relatively easy to make videos that
I
you're
mean,
putting up every day?
yeah. I mean, I don't put a lot of effort, honestly, into the videos. I just record. I would play the dailies anyway, like the main
Mm-hmm.
vault daily challenges, and also got a good streak going on the official like GeoGuessr daily challenge. So I decided to just, yeah, why don't I just record this and upload it? Don't really edit them or anything, just slap them on there. And
No,
people
I
seem
get
to
that.
enjoy it, so yeah.
I love the videos we don't have to do any editing.
Yeah.
But like this one is pretty much what I was getting at. But what possessed you to actually start then, like actually recording? Because I'm sure you were probably doing the dailies anyway, like you said. It was just a hey, if
Yeah.
I can build an audience from this, if I can, I'm gonna do it, sort of thing.
I'm not entirely sure. Like I had already, like if you look at my absolutely oldest videos, they were also daily challenges from way back in the like the official daily challenges. Back then I would record everything, but I would only upload the good ones. I don't know. So I guess that was just like in the back of my mind all the time that I could record these, and then one day I just decided to do it.
Yeah, I've been through a phase of uploading jewels and stuff, and I hated every moment. I just hate jewels in general.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Recently, because back when I was playing them, I was playing all three modes, and I'm not good enough for people to watch me play jewels anyway. But I currently I'm just sticking to moving jewels. Whenever I play, I'm playing a moving jewel, and I play it like a better moving jewel as well. I don't play it like it's
Oh
an
yeah,
actual jewel. I'm trying to
yeah.
5k unless it's a country that I'm like who cares. I'm playing it like a better moving jewel. But I know you're a full moving player as well. What attracts you to moving?
I mean, I also enjoy pinpointing. Uh, yeah, there's something just very satisfying about like figuring out around like getting all the clues, puzzling them together, figuring out what's important, and just like getting a very precise guess to me.
I really enjoyed the. I think I would categorize it as one of the best GeoGuessr streams in recent history when you were going for the Open Major, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Open Major, the final week, the final day,
Yeah.
and all of the calculations that were happening, and you were just queuing moving jewels and
7 hour stream.
7 hours. And I think I was there for probably 6.5 of those 7 hours. I just couldn't pull myself away from it. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Ah.
I'm gutted that you didn't make it in the end because that would have been the cherry on top of that stream.
Yeah, I mean, I had so many opportunities too where I was like one game away from winning, and then I would always queue into like Geo or Bag or Debra and lose.
It
But
was the you were on the line. You were like, if I leave it like this and someone else wins, then I'm out. But if I play
yeah.
and then I come up against Geo or Bag or someone like you said, then I'm probably also out. So, but that was. I think I'll remember that one for a long, long time. But have you got any streams sort of like that you remember from anyone else? Sorry.
Ooh. I mean, the thing is, I don't really watch a lot of streams anymore. Um, hmm. I mean, most of what I watch nowadays is like tournaments and like watch parties for official World Cup stuff.
I mean, yeah, I think it's with most esports. The watch parties are just more fun than the official broadcast.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I am very excited to see. I was going to watch the Open Major, but I think I'm working. But in terms of the moving jewels in the Open Major, the actual official tournament, is there a way, do you think, that you can improve that, considering I know you're a big moving main and anything? Have you got any ideas around that?
I mean, the other day there was the Geo Classic like test tournament where they had the better moving duos, but new improved script by Blinky,
Oh.
and I think that so it is in addition to just the normal first to 5k, there were a few other rules. So like if you are the only one to 5k, you get 2 points, and there's some tie ranges and stuff. I think there was some technical difficulties, but overall it was like really enjoyable stream to watch, I think.
I think
So at least if you take elements from the like better moving format where you're not really rewarded for insta sending. Oh, that was another thing. If you send first and are wrong, the opponents get a point.
As in you
So
don't
that
5k.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you don't 5k, but you send first and not within the last 15 seconds, then you lose a point, essentially. So that really discourages insta sending and like makes pinpointing extra important.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, I don't know if they would ever do anything like that in the official, but it was enjoyable to watch.
I mean, I was there for a little bit at the start, and I think it was when they were having technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Because they were asking Blinky what he thought the issue was in chat. But I genuinely would prefer to sit and watch people pinpointing than somebody insta-sending moving, and it's just scramble for information within 15 seconds or potential stuff.
Yeah, or essentially a second no-move game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But speaking on moving away from moving though, but to like the NMPZ map recently, and or in other official maps, people have been saying it's a bit of a WoW location bait map sort of thing.
Yeah, a little too hard.
Is that something you agree with? Or obviously in the recent EMEA finals, it was 2 rounds. The final.
I mean, I was gonna bring that up. Like, just look at the final there. That like I don't even know how they went Mongolia on round 1. Honestly, like.
Not a clue.
Obviously very high level gameplay, but it's hard to like even with such high level players, the map still feels a bit too random. It's like very like 50-50 world esque locations.
And I'm putting together a tournament for the qualifier, basically for the GeoGuessr Community European Championship, and we've got some NMPZ jewels in there somewhere. What if you were to, as a moving player as well, if you were to want to watch an NMPZ jewel, what sort of like locations would you like to see? Would you like to see harder locations, or would you like to see more of a balanced, like potential urban and rural?
I mean, NMPZ is generally more like favored for rural, while moving is skews more urban. Generally, I suppose. But like, you gotta have some like normal locations in there, surely, to like make it more representative of what a like normal NPC game looks like. And that can obviously be like there are a lot of harder NPC maps like Arbitrary Rural and Dirty World and things.
I hate that.
But like they still have locations that are gettable, and then like the odd curveball. Like wrong continent should be able to happen, but it shouldn't happen every other round.
Yeah, fair.
I would say.
Obviously we gotta have maps for all 3, but it's just I know that I prefer playing with information. So when it comes to NMPZ, I don't know. I prefer to still have some bits of information rather than just looking at an empty field or like just the road. But I just wanted to know from obviously other perspectives, Because
I still think like region guessing should still be important in an NPC, and it's hard to region guess if you don't know the continent.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's fair. Because in obviously no move you get be able to spin and region guess, and then in moving you can move for information.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to information, what sort of like information do you think is the most important to learn for moving? Would you say it's sort of like Landkreis, like Kabupaten?
I do enjoy learning like quiz style Landkreis and area codes and things like that. And obviously a lot of it is very helpful for moving. But there's also a lot of just like habit building, like playing a lot of moving and like getting a feel for what's important to look at in what country, and like which directions to go, which signs to spend extra time reading. And those are the kind of things that are like harder to explain, and you kind of have to get a feel for it by playing.
I was just about to ask. Would that just come from just playing, or would that be... okay. But you said that's what you enjoy and what you think is good. What's the worst part? What's the worst thing to try and learn for moving, would you say?
I mean, I would not want to learn US counties. There are too many, and too many of them are the same.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. The worst part about them is probably all the repeats. Like, I don't know how many Jefferson and Washington counties, and yeah.
I can't even bring myself to learn US phone codes, let alone US counties.
Yeah, I had quite fun with that actually. Like you assign each number to a letter, and then you like make words out of all the phone codes, and then it becomes a lot more manageable to remember.
But like, I assume.
But it's still like 300 something odd. So.
But I assume like sevens you say has got a letter. Is it like sevens like S, or 6 is A or something like that, or do you change up the letter depending on where it is in, or is it just purely just that number the entire way through?
I have a 1-to-1, so each letter is one. Or each number is one letter. I know some people have like 2 or more different letters that they can be, or depending on the position. But I did not do it that way.
It seems like that's easier, but then you probably come up with some random sounding words in there at times. Because I can't imagine they're all like 3-letter words that actually make sense.
No, it's a lot of consonants that just make. So then what I usually do, like if I have 2 consonants that don't really match beside each other, throw in a vowel between them. And the only vowels I have actually are for 0 and 1, O and I. And that's because a lot of the area codes will have a 0 or a 1 in the middle due to how the numbering plan was implemented.
But what's your favourite mnemonic then, or favourite one of the US phone codes? Do you have a favourite?
There are a few good ones in there. Like Northwest Arkansas is reckon, according to my.
You've done that on purpose. There's no way that's just happened to happen. There's not a chance.
It's 479 RKN. Then Birmingham, Alabama is TOS, which is the tosser from Birmingham.
I thought you were going like Twitch TOS or like YouTube TOS or something there for a second, but no, you've gone tosser from Birmingham. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's a bunch of good ones there. There's Western Massachusetts has Riz.
Nah.
Nah.
Western Massachusetts. Nah. Boston's on the east. Nah. Surely the Riz is from the east.
Well, Boston isn't RIZ.
Oh, okay.
No.
Why did you assign Z to a letter, to a number?
That's a great question because I do have both S and Z, and it gets quite confusing at times.
And it's too
But the
late to
thing is
change.
that, yeah, exactly. I'm too far deep in now. But the thing is that 3 looks exactly like a Cyrillic Z, so like I had to do it. It's just
Yeah. I
I
mean,
had
now
to do
you
it.
say
And
that,
5 is just an S. So
it makes sense.
what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I still haven't learned Cyrillic, so
Oh, okay.
it didn't
Fair enough.
compute as the 3 and Z potentials. But yeah, now you say that, it makes sense, but it also no, I wouldn't have put S and
Yeah.
Z in the same thing if I'm
No,
learning that.
I that is probably my biggest regret from my code assignments. But it it's it's less confusing than you would think necessarily, but
Hmm.
it does cause confusion. Um, like you can have things where because I do it more phonetically than by actual letter. So you can have things where you have nice in one area where it's S and knees in the other area where it's Z, and
Hmm.
like phonetically it makes sense to have
Yeah,
them
there's.
separate.
I mean, if you've learned it like that, it's sort of like
Yeah.
yeah, it comes. It's not too confusing for you, but if you're trying to explain it to someone else, they'd be like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
just learn it
Yeah.
yourself. Don't worry about me. It's like a driver. No,
Hmm.
you don't learn from someone who's been driving for years because they've got so many bad habits. You have to go
Hmm.
to an instructor.
Yeah.
But no, in terms of this year though, are you heading to Copenhagen?
Yeah. That's the plan.
What's the plan? I mean, I know it's quite close for. I mean, you've been called Danish many a time by certain people on the internet.
Hmm.
Do you think the Danish qualifier is is? Do you think it's? I don't know. I'm trying to find the right word here because I'm not trying to say like it's wrong or it's
A good
anything because
idea.
we've had like yeah, or a good idea. I don't think that's the right wording either. But obviously we've had Polish qualifiers, we've had this, but like, was that a bit of a surprise to you? Like, obviously it's being
Oh,
held in Denmark,
absolutely.
but
Yeah.
in terms of the
It
player
was
base,
definitely a surprise. Yeah. I would say it kind of makes sense if they hold the World Cup in a different country each year and they have a wild card
hmm
for said country. But it also leans heavily on what they will do in the future.
yeah,
Um,
and hopefully
that's my
moving away
take on
from
it.
online qualifiers. If
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be
yeah,
but then. Or I guess open quality was always, but
it's one of those ones where it's like it's still the third year of building something for people who are relatively new
Yeah.
to the esports world. But hopefully, and I think I've been saying this every year. Hopefully, next year is better than this year as well. In terms of, I think this year's better than last year in terms of
Yeah. Yeah.
all the tournaments and everything.
Yeah. Last year was a lot of just like invitational
Yeah,
online tournaments, kind of. Like there was the Rainbow one, and
which
I
was
think
a.
this year is more open
Mhm.
for people. But then on the other hand, the whole World League thing was for so long, and everyone who got into the World League has so many more opportunities, kinda, to qualify.
Yeah, which is quite annoying considering it happened like the entrance to it was like a month after the previous like
Yeah,
world championship.
yeah,
If anyone was wanting to, people at the level now, and obviously I know it has to be a year long thing, but
mhm,
um, some people obviously dropped out and
mhm,
could have given those opportunities to other people.
yeah,
But I understand it's like a lot of burnout, a lot of geoguessr that you're playing,
mm,
a lot of time you got to focus. But hopefully next year,
yeah.
I don't know what they're doing next year. They've changed the
No
format
idea.
every year, so uh, who knows what to expect next year. Um, But in terms of Copenhagen, what are your predictions? Who do you think takes that?
I mean, it's hard not to root for Blinky, reigning world champ.
I knew you were going to
He
say it.
was defeatable in EMEA,
I mean, he was
so
last
we'll
year too.
see. Yeah, true. We'll see how that shakes out. I don't know.
If you had a rogue pick,
Um,
just someone that you weren't, no one was really expecting, who would it be?
uh, really, no. I mean, obviously, I'm a very good friend of Blinky's, and I'm always rooting for him.
Yeah, fair.
But that's the boring answer.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we saw a lot of very competitive, especially like EMEA, and uh, I think a lot of people could go very far.
I remember being in Stockholm last year, and while we were at the watch party, like obviously we weren't allowed to the studios or whatever in the first couple of days of the group stages and everything. And the entire time we were in the Red Bull Arena or Red Bull, whatever it was, Moo was sat there grinding something or another. And then this year he's come out and he's done really well and he's putting together.
Yeah.
And I think he could be a sort of dark horse to go very, very far this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I say dark horse. People who know the scene know it know him very well, and he bullies me all the time. But I still think he's a good shout. The amount of work he's putting in.
Yeah, that's fair.
No?
Yeah.
Anything else for you? Do you want to say? You got anything to say to the people?
I don't know. Not really.
Follow maccem on Twitch or something? No.
Yeah. Have a YouTube.
He does have a YouTube. No. Is there anyone you want to see on this to come and talk and have their opinion shared that I can maybe go and get?
Oh. Maybe Nadia?
Oh, she's lined up already, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Potentially an in-person one too. So.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to the Coupe de France.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, right.
Commentating in person.
Together. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have time. Well, it depends on how long she wants to talk for. Hopefully we'll have time for to sit down one day.